What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. We're here to talk about Zion Williamson because I'm going to keep it straight with you. The NBA world legitimately forgot how damn good that guy is. And he's even better this year. Points scoring may not reflect it, but he's a much better player this year than he has been in years past. We're going to get into a little bit of his season, the way he's been playing, because I think overall he's just improved a lot as a complete basketball player in terms of doing more things than just scoring. And it's great to see. It's awesome to see. We're going to break that down right now. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But Zion's not getting any credit, and I don't understand why. I haven't seen anybody talking about it. The dude has been amazing the last pretty much entire year. Last 9 games, if you want to exclude that Golden State game where they won by like 50 and he didn't really even have to do anything. But let's get into him. This season, his averages are really, really solid. All-star level averages, 23.6 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. Points are down a little bit, or a few points from a couple years ago. Rebounds are down just slightly, but assists are up. And that's something I wanted to see from him because really, this is the best team he's ever played on. They don't need him to go out there and score 35, 36 points every single night to have a chance. You have guys like CJ McCollum, although he's been injured lately. Brandon Ingram been injured lately, but like Trey Murphy's been pretty good. Jonas Valanciunas has been pretty good, or Jonas, however you want to say his name. Alvarado's been pretty solid. Herb Jones has been top, 15 defensive player in the league. They got a lot going on, so he doesn't have to score a bunch. So it's important for guys that are, known for their scoring to be able to impact the game in other ways when they don't have to score all the time. So the 4.3 assists being like almost an assist higher than what he's averaged in his career. Love to see that. The dude's always been efficient. He's all, for whatever reason, he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's 63% from 2, and he spends his entire time in the paint. Just going up there against dudes that are 7 feet tall, 6'11", same weight as him. He is just, well, maybe not same weight because he's a bigger, stronger dude, but still bigger, taller guys. He's going up there with the trees and just chopping them down every single time. 71% from the free throw line, which is, it's right around that just below average level, whatever you want to call that. But, on 7.5 attempts a game, that's one thing that I like to see is that his attempts, now he's getting to the line a lot. He's applying pressure. And his field goal percentage, 50% or higher in all but 2 games. So I think it's like 14 out of 16 games that he's played, over 50% from the field. You get the guys that you only take 4 shots and make 2 of them. It doesn't really mean all that much. But when you're taking 15, 16 shots a game and you're making 8, 9 of them, 10 of them, it's a great sign. He's kind of one of one, in my opinion, and just in terms of what he can do on the floor. Speaking of what he can do on the floor, in 9 out of the 16 games that he's played, 4+ assists. For a dude that's sharing the ball with Brandon Ingram, with CJ McCollum, he's being very, very good when he has to step up and be that ball handler. They've played a few games without those guys, like I mentioned earlier, and he's really just been stellar in terms of setting everybody up and being that lead dog that's not, he's getting other guys involved, which is something that he hasn't always been the greatest at. So seeing him take that jump, it's been awesome to see. I think he just had a game 2 games ago with 8 assists. So he had that one game against Golden State where he only scored like 9 points or something like that, but they won by 45. He didn't have to score a bunch. So if you exclude that game from, because that's in his last 10, if you exclude that, so over the 9 games, not counting GSW that he's played, he's averaging like 25 points, I think like 25.6 points a game, which is pretty close to what he was doing a couple years ago. So the scoring is still there. It is still there. Like, I'm not even at all worried about his numbers because he's playing winning basketball at this point. He's got the team around him. Doesn't got to do it all the time anymore. I love the versatility that he's been putting on. There's games where, he realizes I got to go out there and I got to score 30 for us to win this game. Or there's games where he realizes, okay, maybe I only need to get 20, but I need to get these other guys involved. Maybe I need to have 6, 7 assists. He's doing that. Or maybe he needs to rebound better. Maybe he needs to go over 10 boards. He has all those little unique traits to where you can kind of go out there. He can go out there and put up 30, 10, and 8 if he really wanted to. Like, if he really just wanted to sell out to do it, he could definitely do it. Now, I don't know if it would result in wins, but when they need him to step up and have games that are big, he does. So I've talked about his passing. I've talked about his scoring. I've talked about how he can be a pretty good, damn good rebounder. I've talked about how efficient he is. Defense. Let's get there. Defensively, for the first couple years that he played, not a very good defender. Yes, he has the hyper athleticism and things like that, but in terms of just being a good team defender or one-on-one defender, the effort just wasn't always there. And there's multiple reasons you can point that to. 1, team wasn't very good around him for his first couple years that he played. 2, had to do a lot on offense. So it's a lot to ask your best player to exert himself all on offense and then go back and do it on defense as well. It's not the easiest thing on the planet to do. Yes, they're pro NBA players, but there's a reason that really nobody really does that anymore in the league. Okay. So that's why you can kind of attribute, maybe some laziness to it as well. But this year, his defensive rating is the best it's ever been. He's top 10 in the NBA in defensive rating. Yes, that's kind of a team stat, but the defense is better when he's on the floor. This is of guys that play 30 plus minutes per game, of course, for the defensive rating. I don't care about somebody that plays 5 minutes a game and has a 92.8 defensive rating. You don't play. That does not matter. I want guys, the stars that are playing out there pretty much majority of the game, who are the better defenders in the league. And he's stepped up this year. He's having games with 4 blocks. He's having games with 3-4 steals. Like, he's really, those are just a couple defensive metrics that you can point to easily and see that he's making an effort on that side of the ball. But in reality, he's doing a better job staying in front of people. He's doing better in help defense, which is something that really lacked in his first 2 years. So it's nice to see him covering more ground and helping his guys out on that end, which, it's kind of working. It's working out for them because now he doesn't have to do everything on offense. So he can really stretch out and show how good of a defender he can really be. Being top 10 in defensive rating for 30 plus minutes per game in the NBA is no joke. You want to keep the rating for the advanced stats, people that love that, top 15 in net rating in the entire NBA of guys that play 30 plus minutes. That means when he is on the floor, he is literally one of the biggest difference makers in the entire league. You got Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP, Jason Tatum, front runner for MVP, Drew Holiday, who's missed some games, so this is a little slanted in terms of the games played. But we all know Drew Holiday, excellent player, excellent defender. Chris Paul, we know how good he can be. Brandon Ingram, his own teammate. And then we got Draymond Green, who's one of the more impactful players in the league, no matter what this box score says about his scoring. Devin Booker literally just put up 50 the other night. KCP, really solid, just overall good player. That's why some of these you're going to see guys that aren't superstars, but they're part of teams that are really, really good, and they're big reasons why. So they're kind of unsung heroes like KCP. You got Steph Curry. Do I even got to go into that? NBA champion and finals MVP, whatever you want to go with there. Desmond Bane, one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA, honestly. He's awesome. Mikal Bridges, Iron Man, one of the best defenders in the entire NBA, great shooter, can do a lot. So he's really damn good. And you got Giannis. Then there's Dylan Brooks ahead of him, who, just shows that Memphis is really good when he plays on the floor. And then there's Zion. So really we got 2-time MVP, front runner, couple all NBA players. Like, it's just, it's awesome to see that he's in this company. And if we want to keep going with the top 15 thing, top 15 in true shooting percentage. So he is effective from pretty much everywhere. He's not going to shoot a bunch of threes. It's not his game, but he doesn't have to, because one, he's better with the ball in his hands now, so he can create for others a little bit more effectively. He can get to the line. 71% from the line. It's not great, but it's not bad. Shooting, basically, he's really going to shoot over 60% from the field in pretty much every game he plays. He's a freak of nature. I really just love the passing, because if you watch his game now, he's reading the floor better. It looks like the game has slowed down. And then defensively, stepping his game up. That was something that I really, really was like, he can score, he can do all these great things. He's an athletic freak, but defensively, it just, he left a lot to be desired in his first few years. This year, nothing left to be desired. He's putting it all on the floor. I have a theory that people aren't talking about Zion as much because he signed that contract extension and everybody wanted to get him traded to a bigger market. I was not one of those people. He seems like somebody that really loves New Orleans, and New Orleans seems to really love him back. I hope he stays healthy. That's always been the thing in his past, so I'm hoping good health for him, because when he does play, that dude, I don't know if you can argue 20 guys that you'd rather have than Zion when they're healthy. When he's healthy, I should say, too. Whatever you want to call it. He's a freak. Dude's awesome. I hope he continues it. He's got his team, I think, in the top 3 or 4 in the West. Yes, it's only been like 20 games we played, but it's a good mark to be at. You don't want to be in the bottom 5 like my team, like the Lakers. He's been amazing. I'm slamming my Lakers every chance I get because we're just stupid franchise. But New Orleans made the right decision. They paid him, and he is their franchise. So if they're not going anywhere without that guy being the star of the show, when guys like CJ and Brandon Ingram are back healthy, I do not want to be a single NBA team that has to play this team in a 7-game series if they're healthy. That is good luck to every team in the West, every team in the East. That's going to be tough. And Zion is pretty much the biggest reason why. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Please like the video. I really, really appreciate it. I just want to give Zion some love because the NBA world just doesn't want to do it anymore. And I think they honestly just forgot. So thank you for watching. I'm done here. Peace.